Hi there folks, welcome to Dunsy's Guitar World. Doing our own beat around the bush with the intro on this one. This is part 2 of my series of looking at all the guitar riffs, and there are a lot of them from the song At War with Satan, title track of the third Venom album. So I think in lesson 1 we had got up to about 1 minute 45 seconds. Now there must be, I don't know, 32 at least different riffs in this tune, so I'm only trying to do maybe 4 riffs in every lesson. Try and keep the lesson short, although I'm already havering already. Just do 4 riffs at a time. So this part will take us from about 1 minute 45 up to 2 before we sort of modulate up, I think, to A flat. So let's go on with it. I'll show you what I played up to in the last lesson. Now, guitar wise, this is just like a cheap put together Telecaster. Amp wise, I'm playing through a Marshall with a super lead with a lot of overdrive, and we are in standard, D standard tuning. So where had we got to in the previous one? Wait, now I'll start as 2, 3, 4. So I think in the previous lesson we had got up to and that's where we've got to. Now I will say as well, expectation level here is, this is just how I hear this song. I am not saying this is correct, you know, this is not Play It Like the album, this is Play It Like Dunsy plays it, and to be perfectly honest, I have been known to be very, very wrong before. So that is where we got to, and that takes us up to about 140. Now the next riff, I think, goes like this. Played that quite fast, but I will explain it. So pedal tone, bottom E, hammer on, pull off to the 3rd fret of the bottom E, and then a G power chord 3 of E. I'm just naming the strings it would normally be, but this is obviously a D now. So it's 3 of the bottom E, 5 of D, over to 1 of A, 3 of D. Now again, I'm not playing the exact rhythm here, I'm just trying to show you the chords. So it's now obviously it goes a lot faster than that. So that is the first riff. That comes in about 145 on the song. Then we move up to 7 of A and hammer on to 8 of A and back off. It's kind of the same rhythm as we've just played. And then we go from the 7 up to 10 of A. So slowly, it's just this. And again. Then, so there's 3 of those, and on the last one, we start going down chromatically, so down to 6, to 5, all in the A, and then this trill from 4 of A to 5 of A. So that is that part. Now obviously the album's a lot faster. Slows down as we come to that trill. And then we're into E power chords. I think he's maybe sliding from the D into the E, but it's a bottom string open, 7 of A, 9 of D, that's your E chord. I think he's maybe sliding in from the D, which will be 5 of A, 7 of D. Again with a pedal tone on the bottom E string. So that takes us into the next riff, which will be the fourth one of this lesson. I think there's 5 altogether I'm going to be doing this lesson. It takes us up to the sort of first solo. So I'm kind of struggling to hear what a part of this does, but what I'll do is I'll play it both ways that I think it could go, and then explain both ways, and then you can decide which way you think sounds best to your ears. So here's version 1. So that's version 1. Version 2, almost the same but one note different. This is version 2. So that is the only difference, whether playing this note the second time, the 3rd fret, or this note, the 4th fret of the bottom E string. So it's pretty much the same, but I will explain the very, very slight difference. So the first thing we do, bottom E string, 2 hits, and then 3 to 2 of the A string pull off, over to 3 of the bottom string, and then over to 5 of the D string. Now that is the same in both of them. Now the next note is the one that could be either one of these. So in version 1, after that 5th fret of the D, I'm playing the 3rd fret of the bottom E. And then the next thing we do is 3, 2 of A. Back and finish on 3 of the bottom E. So that's version 1, where we're coming after we play the D, the 5th fret of the A string, we come back to the 3rd fret of the E. The other version, after we play the D, the 5th fret of the A, it's maybe we're playing the 5th fret of the E. So this is version 2. So we're coming from 5 of A to 5 of E, and then we're still finishing the same 3, 2 on A, and finish on the 3rd fret of the bottom E. So here we go slowly, version 1. Version 2. I think they both sound pretty good, but I'm not 100% sure which one is correct. And then we're into the last one of this lesson. What's Cronos singing here? Cronos is singing Lucifer's demonic laughter, but he does say it a lot more menacingly than I did there. So this is just a series of chords, power chords, that stop between each one. So the first one is an E, bottom E open, 7 of A, 9 of D. Play that again. And then we go down to a C power chord, 3 of A, 5 of D, down to a B chord, B power chord, 2 of A, 4 of D, back to C. So all together. And then we let that E hang, and then we're into the next part, which gets a bit trickier than the parts we've done so far, and I'll just be showing you what is underneath, what I think is underneath the solo. I'm not going to go over what Mantas is playing. I can't play like that. So there you go folks, that was part 2 of At War with Satan guitar lesson series. That's taken us from 1:45 to about 3 minutes. All the riffs, 5 riffs there. 5 riffs in how long is that? 1 minute and 15 seconds. So yeah, I mean, the Venom boys are piling the riffs in on this one, you know, and I'm already thinking, God, I wish I hadn't started this series. But I will see it out to the end. As ever, folks, it's a privilege and a pleasure bringing you content on Dunsi's Guitar World 2. Cheers for now.